So, to take a great photograph, one of the key things we need to think about is exposure. And by exposure, we mean the amount of light entering the camera through the lens and hitting the sensor. So taking my camera, and this Nikon model, the dial should be set to S. In your camera, it might be called TV. Both mean shutter speed. When I set the shutter speed, it means that the camera will automatically control the other side of the exposure setting, aperture size, to make sure that you get the correct exposure for your picture. So the shutter speed is measured as an actual time. So if it's set to 1 second, that means that the shutter itself will be open for 1 second. If it's set to 1/500th of a second, the shutter will be open for 1/500th of a second. And that time is what controls the amount of light entering the camera. We can use shutter speed for a number of things. One of the key things is to actually freeze motion. I've got Lee over there and he's going to run through the frame, and I'm going to start off with a really fast shutter speed. What that will do, really freeze the action as Lee goes past me, and I'll get a really sharp image of Lee running. What I will then do is slow the shutter speed right down and take the same shot as he runs past, and it will blur Lee as he goes through the shot to give a real sense of dynamism and motion, and that's what we're looking for with those kind of slow shutter speed shots. So I'm starting with a shutter speed of 1/800th of a second. So we'll get Lee running in now. Okay, Lee? So there we go, I've taken a shot there, and you won't be able to see it, but we'll show you in a second how we really capture the action, got a really sharp focused image of Lee running into the camera. So in this picture, as the runner is coming past, the shutter speed is set to 1/800th of a second, which is really fast and helps capture the runner in sharp focus. So now I'm going to set the shutter speed to a 60th of a second, which is a much slower shutter speed, and as Lee comes running into the image, he will blur across the frame. So let's go. Okay, Lee? In this example, we can see that the runner is coming past us, and because we've used a much slower shutter speed, 1/60th of a second, the image of the runner himself is blurred while the background remains in sharp focus.